Electro and Bono Movie Power Hour. You know what? Where's Hawk at? Listener discretion advised. Pansy.
Welcome back to the Electro and Bono Movie Power Hour. I am Electro, of course, and Bono is MIA today. He's got some anal contusions as far as I'm concerned, and he just can't move from bed right now. So we got a special guest filling in for him, Mr. James.
You know, when Electro calls and says Bono's being a baby and he can't come in, I'm here.
Anal contusions is not a baby thing, all right? So yeah, we called on James,
Sounds like it hurts.
the host of Grab a Beer and Jacket, an old podcast we used to do together, and yeah, he's always reliable. And of course, Ozzy over there on the keys, the producer.
Yo, what's up?
And thank you for listening. If you're listening to this show, you have reached the bottom of the barrel, huh? There's nothing else for you to listen to, huh?
No, there's way
You're
worse
like,
movie
fuck it, I'll
podcasts.
give this a shot. Let's see what these guys
Stay
got
with
to
us. I know the quarantine's almost over, but stick with us.
Yeah, there are way worse shows out there than us.
Yeah, so we wrapped up our Fincher versus Nolan series. That took up a lot of time, so we got a lot of catching up to do here on the movies that have been streaming, all the stuff that's been out that we haven't had a chance to talk about.
Are open.
Theaters are open. We've gone to the theaters a couple of times, so...
The numbers are starting to look kind of normal.
Mm-hmm.
How was Nobody? You went to go watch that, didn't you?
Oh, Nobody was great.
I don't know if you're going to do an episode on it. I'll wait, but
I was actually going to talk about it a little bit on this. Yeah, I fucking loved it.
it looks fucking awesome.
It's awesome. I didn't really expect much of... What's that guy's name?
Better Call Saul?
Bob Odenkirk, right?
Yeah. It's
Bob?
got a weird
Yeah.
name out there.
Bobby?
Bob Odenkirk.
Bobby!
Yeah, but it's so good. I never would have thought that an action movie starring that guy would be
It looked good.
good. But and like what was good for me was I hadn't seen any trailers or anything. It didn't really
They didn't get
know
that
what
much.
the fuck it was about, but it was like the only thing in the movie theaters that I would be willing to go see. And I had a great time. Took my nieces to see it.
It looked like Falling Down meets John Wick, you know?
Exactly. It's essentially John Wick.
Yeah.
Basically. But whatever. It's good. It's good. I loved it.
I was excited when I saw you guys walking in and watch. I was like, yes, somebody's going to go see this
Fuck
movie.
yeah. It's a great movie. Yeah, I recommend everybody go watch it. It's still in the theaters, and other than like Mortal Kombat and Godzilla, which are, big blockbuster things, but if you want to have a real good time, go watch Nobody.
Hey, that was number 2 last week. Nobody.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
19 million. Number
Really?
dose.
Number- 19 million for number 2. That's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
bad.
fucking
Not
insane. Fucking insane. Godzilla was number 1 at 82.
Wait, Mortal Kombat wasn't number 1?
No, this is last week's. It ended the 22nd. Let's see if they have the weekend ones
They're
up yet.
definitely up now. Mortal Kombat, I believe, won the weekend. Made like 20 million or something.
Good for them. Yeah.
Good for you.
23 million. Just a couple over
Mortal Kombat?
Demon Slayer. Yeah, Mortal Kombat started
First
at
week, 23 million.
Mortal Kombat.
which would be pretty normal for Mortal Kombat, right? This isn't a blockbuster, even on a great.
No, dude.
I mean, it might have been more successful. I mean, dude, Mortal Kombat as a video game has a huge following around the world. So people are going to go see it, whether it's...
And there's
good or
12-year-olds everywhere that want to see that movie and they have no idea why. Just because
Right.
it's such a cultish institution,
Well,
so.
dude, that number 2 is Demon Slayer. That's an anime, right? That's like the
Fuck
dude.
I
That shit
know.
was the number 1 movie.
Go listen to the Nakama Boys if you want to talk about anime.
That's literally why I know
we talk
about
about
that.
fucking real life people being filmed on here.
Dude, that was the number 1 movie. That shit made like $1 billion fucking dollars. It beat every goddamn movie. I don't know. I don't get it. It's weird.
I don't know.
I think
People
movies
like
are like $100 a ticket in Japan. That's
people like drawings.
they're fucking with us.
That's
Like
awesome.
27 people went.
Cartoon lovers out there. Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into the streaming thing, the Oscars just happened. We haven't really watched many of these movies, but there was a little bit of controversy, so maybe we...
There was no controversy.
No?
The family came out and said, no controversy.
There is no controversy.
hot man wins.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins won an Oscar. That seems about right.
I mean, what are you going to do?
The man won an Oscar for being in a movie for like 10 minutes, so fucking...
crazy.
So
He was farting in his sleep as he got the award.
Yeah, I'm talking about Silence of the Lambs, but like Yeah, if you win an Oscar for being in a movie for 10 minutes, you're always eligible to win an
and
Oscar.
that year there were some heavy hitters too.
Oh,
when
yeah.
when he won that year, there was some serious ones. Like I think Tom Hanks, one of his awesome movies. That was a even larger feat.
There you go. Mank, was nominated for 10 Oscars. It won 2. It got a little bit of love. Pleasantly surprised by that. It won, what was it? Cinematography?
Yeah, cinematography.
Cinematography and what was it? Best production design.
Okay. It was, dude, the production design when I was watching it was like, this is top notch.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Production design? No one does it better.
Well, when you make a movie that's takes place in that era, I mean that's got to be the hardest thing about making a movie like that.
Dude, and what I keep saying, I love that it sounded like it wasn't just like, oh, it's in black and white. It literally sounded like it was shot on an old school soundstage. It was fucking amazing. That movie was great.
Absolutely.
And then 4 people outside of us have seen that fucking movie.
Well, those are 4 smart fucking people.
Yeah, those are probably great humans.
Tenet won an Oscar for visual effects. So those Nolan and Fincher came up with some Oscars at least. But of course, the big winner of the night was Nomadland. They decided that, I mean, I don't know.
Have you seen this movie?
I haven't.
It's about, what is it about?
It's about
Somebody
like
lives in her car or
it's like
something?
about wanderers,
she
right?
like loses Frances McDormand loses her house because of the recession. Because it takes place during the recession, and then so she just becomes a nomad. That's the best I've got.
It's like like gypsy or
She
something.
gets an
right?
like she takes her last cash, gets an RV, says, "I'm going throughout the Midwest. I'm gonna do odd jobs. I'm gonna write a book about it. 12 years from now, it's gonna win an Oscar."
Yeah, and I'm gonna.
So it's based on real stuff.
I don't know. I just totally made that up.
Is that not even the plot of the movie? You piece of
No,
shit?
it is. That is. No, that definitely is. No, that definitely is. That part, the whole, she lost her house during the recession. She buys an RV. She goes around.
I mean, Frances McDormand's a fucking motherfucker of an
Yeah,
actor.
she's
She's
a good
amazing. She's made so many good movies, so many great performances. Record-breaking 3rd fucking Oscar for acting. I don't think anybody else. Maybe has Daniel Day-Lewis won 3 Oscars or only 2?
He should have.
It might be 3, but I think maybe she's only the first woman to maybe win 3 Oscars.
That's what I read. That's the headline I read.
Woman?
They put, I saw a woman.
Yeah, maybe Daniel Day-Lewis has won 3 Oscars. That's possible. But
Well, Hopkins is one too, right?
yeah. There's people. I mean, I'm sure Sean Penn has
Tom
definitely
Hanks.
won 2. To win 3 Oscars. I mean, obviously you're
She's awesome. Dude.
you're a great fucking actor. And I mean, this movie better be the fucking shit, all right? Because
Well, I mean, there's some pretty artsy type movies that were in that category.
yeah,
So
I mean, I'm all for Best Picture, sure, but I mean, how is there a better director than David Fincher? I just don't see it, man.
they did 7 episodes on the whole thing. Go back and listen.
Exactly.
Daniel Day-Lewis has 3 Academy Awards. For
Damn.
My Left Foot, There Will Be Blood, and
Lincoln. Yeah.
And should have been for motherfucking
Gangs
of New York,
Yeah.
supporting actor.
Yeah, I would rather give him one for Gangs of New York than Lincoln because I couldn't even get through Lincoln.
He lost to Gary Oldman in 2018.
Fuck you, Daniel.
That was your darkest hour.
I fucking love Daniel Day-Lewis, man, but if I had to shoot one of them in the head,
yeah.
I shoot Daniel
Sorry,
Day-Lewis.
sorry, Danny. Sorry, Danny, you're gone.
Fucking Drexel lives. It's White Boy Day, man. Absolutely. White Boy Summer, like Tom Hanks' kid said.
But if you're gonna have an actor play the other, you have in a biography pick, Daniel Day-Lewis play Gary Oldman.
He could pull it off.
Life, yeah.
He could pull it off. Yeah, and obviously the big controversy was that Anthony Hopkins beat Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and yeah, and I didn't watch the Oscars. Ozzy watched them, but apparently they the Academy believed that Chadwick Boseman was going to win, and they built up the end of the Oscars to be like, oh, it's going to end with him winning it, and then he didn't win. Anthony Hopkins won, and he wasn't even there, and it just ended, and everyone was like, what the fuck?
It was pretty anticlimactic the way it ended.
So they built something at the train station for that finale and it didn't happen? They had it at Union Station, right?
Yeah, dude, it was fucking sick. I love that setup because it was like different levels. Kind of looked like a wedding cake.
Have you been there?
No.
It's pretty crazy, dude.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it must be huge, right? Because that can't be the whole
it's
thing.
huge. Yeah.
That was cool. I liked that.
Get into this. Good job for watching the Oscars, Ozzy. I hate watching the Oscars. I watched them last year only because Lily was watching them and I was sitting there. But I hate watching the Oscars. I'd rather just read the list the next day.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, if you're not doing it, I wasn't doing anything else.
I mean,
I was out.
there's a world of pornography out there, Ozzy. A whole world.
You should have seen Amanda Seyfried's boobs in that dress. That was all I needed.
I could Google some better images of Amanda Seyfried.
In that dress, though.
I'll Google it
With the-
later. I'll
with the-
Google it later today.
Check out the Twitter page for the show. Post them there.
Anyway, so let's get down to this HBO Max thing. HBO Max came through and they said, fuck that the theaters are closed. We're going to just fucking put these motherfuckers out at the same time. So it's very fucking interesting. And like these big blockbuster movies that were supposed to make a shitload of money that only made like Wonder Woman, for example, $200 million budget. That shit was probably supposed to make $1 billion.
Now, do they disclose how much they pay for these movies?
Well, it's Warner Brothers. I believe they fucking own it, bro. They have no like.
Well, they're HBO's paying
Mhm.
to stream these on their site. So are they calculating that into the earnings of the movie so we can see it publicly?
I don't know. I was reading actually something today. The first time I've read it about like they disclosed how many people watched Mortal Kombat like during the first week, which is something like 3.4 million or some shit like that. Which they're saying outperformed Wonder Woman, which is the first movie that this happened with. They released it on Christmas, and apparently the new Mortal Kombat movie was watched more than that shit. So, pretty cool.
People are getting used to it. People are like,
Fuck
that-
feminism.
No, but from a monetary standpoint, I mean, for us, it doesn't mean we're nobody. But how do they gauge what's a success based on money? Like, how do they gauge a break even point on revenue?
I don't know. I mean, it's people are subscribing to HBO Max to watch these movies. And I'm sure like people that don't like going to the movies or don't have the time to go to the movies, paying fucking $15 a month, and then you get to see a big movie that's in the movie theater every single month. Like,
No,
pays for
I'm with
itself.
I'm with that point. But my whole thing is this going to do something long term for the budgets of these movies, because there's no way to gauge how much it brought in. So is the days of a $200 million budget gone because they're not bringing in the money?
I don't think so, because the way things are moving right now, and like kind of Godzilla versus Kong kind of revived the box office again. And even though it's not compared to what shit used to be like, it's pretty good for like what the box office has been like over the last year. So you already saw it in like movies that might have gone through this route of going straight to streaming, just push back until the end of the year, because things are opening up, and they're just probably guessing by the end of the year things are going to be somewhat back to normal, and these big blockbusters are going to start making money again. And this HBO Max thing is probably going to be just a little like, remember that time where they were showing movie theater movies at home?
It works. What if the box office money does come back, and then on top of that, 5 million people also streamed it?
Right.
I wonder what the fuck.
I mean, I hope they find some kind of middle ground, because I mean, I'm always obviously gonna go to the movies to watch it. I watched Godzilla versus Kong at home, and then I went to the movie theater to watch it.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, is there a point where a movie's good enough, or it's just not meant for home, that tons of people are just going to say, yeah, I did watch it at home, I'm just going to go watch it in the theater for that experience?
Exactly. Well, the Godzilla versus Kong, if you want to experience that movie the right way, you got to go to a fucking movie theater. It's a movie to be
like the
watched.
Fast and the Furious movie that's coming out. Oh, I can't wait to go to the movie theater to see
I'll
that.
watch that shit on my phone.
Well, that's what Frances McDormand said when she won. She was like, go see all these movies in the theater. Like you got to experience them in the biggest screen possible. Watch all of these that were nominated in the biggest screen possible whenever you get a chance.
Yeah.
Because they're just...
Well, Nomadland was like a Hulu exclusive, so like you could watch that movie right now on Hulu and stuff.
I'm watching it. Pause.
Yeah. But back to Wonder Woman, $200 million budget, and in its little theatrical run, because since Christmas, back with then when movie theaters were barely open, very select places, they were showing it starting since then. So it made worldwide $166 million. So yeah, it lost a fuckload of money, but I don't know. Who knows how that's gonna go with like.
Wasn't it terrible though?
It was awful.
So I mean, that's my other thing, is that they only letting things go that we're gonna do shitty anyways.
Oh, it wasn't gonna do shitty. That movie was gonna be watched by fucking.
You really think so?
Oh yes,
because they're the only ones that have, at that point that they made the decision to release it on HBO Max. They're the only ones that had seen it. Has there been one really good movie that was sent to HBO Max?
Yeah. I am biased towards like Justice League. I like the Justice League movie that they put out, but that was never going to be put out in theaters. And I actually also want to talk about that because I believe that movie is a product straight up of HBO Max and the pandemic. HBO Max was like, we're not released, like movie theaters are not being released right now. There's like millions of people that want to see this version of the movie that will pay to see it. We're not really wasting money to make movies right now. Why don't we just fucking spend not a couple million. They spent $70 million to recut that movie and add special effects to like the way that it was supposed to be. 70 on top of the original $200 million budget that movie had. So almost $300 million movie, and the fucking Snyder cut that was released on HBO Max is probably never going to be widely released in theaters. That was just straight up fucking HBO Max thing. And I like that because it's a way of like them experimenting, being like, fuck it, like let's just give people what they want and then we'll put it out there. And I'm sure so many fucking people watched it, and I really liked it.
I just hope that HBO Max and this release method doesn't become the grocery outlet of movies, where all you get is the second run shit that they couldn't sell it at Safeway,
right?
And you get it at grocery outlet because they paid a nickel on the dollar for it,
right?
Because then after a while, then people are like, it's just another. It's gonna turn into the Cinemax of the '80s, where got released straight to video,
right?
It's our version of that. So hopefully it doesn't turn into that.
Well,
I'll watch it at home because I can't, like you said, I'm one of the people that can't go watch movies in the theater. As a little kid, I'm going to choose to stay home and hang out with her, and then I'll watch a movie after she falls asleep.
You could just be an asshole and take your kid to the movie.
Cry room.
Exactly.
She likes shitty movies, and I don't want to listen to her complain that there's people cussing on TV. So.
Oh. But to your point about like shitty movies being released on HBO Max, right after Wonder Woman, they released The Little Things. You know about that movie? It's the fucking the Denzel Washington serial killer movie with starring 3 Oscar winners.
Damn.
Denzel Washington, Jared Leto, and Rami Malek. It was like just incredibly mediocre movie. With like, well, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Jared Leto. He's great American Psycho, but I love hate with him. He's been in some good stuff, but I don't really like him. And then this movie, there's Rami Malek's in it. I know you were somewhat of a fan of him, right? You like that show?
The show was good.
What was it called? Robot.
Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot.
That was good, and he was great in Night at the Museum.
Yes, that's his best work.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and he won an Oscar for Bohemian Rhapsody. Did you ever watch that movie?
No.
I didn't really. It was also like a very mediocre movie to me. I had a lot of issues with it. And his performance was fine, but he won an Oscar for it. It was not worthy of an Oscar.
I don't know. He's not a great actor in my opinion.
And that's exactly.
He's a good actor. He's better than me.
Right.
But he he's the same person in every role, it seems.
Oh, so this movie convinced me, like, oh, he's a bad actor.
Oh, really?
I thought so. He's like, he had like this aura of like, oh, I'm an Oscar winner. I'm like a good actor. I'm gonna try something with this character, and I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I just didn't buy it, and I was just like, you're just like a weird bug-looking dude.
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, not to talk shit about the way he looks. He's kind of a good-looking guy, but I don't know. I feel like he does some weird stuff with his face, like trying to be a good actor.
Exactly, and he's doing it on purpose to try to convey emotions, and it's unnecessary.
Yeah, and it's really weird. It really took me out of the movie, and it was just so mediocre, and then it also has like a terrible. And also, I think arguably Denzel Washington's bad in this movie. Like,
you gotta be a pretty bad director or a bad writer to make that guy bad.
John Lee Hancock is the name of the man.
Jesus. Boo that man.
Anyway,
sounds like a serial killer.
So this movie had a budget of $30 million, much more fucking modest, and it made $29.8 million. IMDb rating 6.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 46%, and the audience score, they liked it a little more, 67%. But it was just like a super fucking underwhelming movie. And also like Jared Leto being a serial killer. I don't know if you ever watched the Blade Runner sequel.
Spoilers, right? Is that spoiler?
Blade Runner? Well, like I like him in that movie. He does like a kind of an interesting thing. He's basically doing the exact same thing in this movie, but he looks creepy. And I was just,
but Jared Leto's pretty similar to Rami Malek.
Yeah,
he overacts unnecessarily.
He's drank from his Kool-Aid. Yeah. He won an Oscar, and he's just like, oh, I'm like really good. How about I send used condoms to people because I'm so fucking method.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was the second disappointing thing, but it was still like, ooh, new Denzel Washington movie, kind of serial killer thing.
At first, the first preview I saw, I thought it was gonna be good. I don't know if it was.
Oh, I was like, I was excited to see it, and then like maybe a week or two before it was released, people started with the reviews, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad, which kind of got me more excited to watch it. I was like, fuck yeah.
So that's what I wanted to ask you. You've watched a lot of these ones, right? Now, under normal circumstances, if a movie comes out first week in the theater, you start hearing things about it, right? And usually that's what happens. It comes out, and then word gets out, and then nobody else goes, and then 2 weeks later, it's out of the theater.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So now the movie that you just watched with Denzel, if you would have heard how bad it was, if it was just in the theater, would you have paid to go see that in the theater?
No. I probably would have. If this movie hadn't been on HBO Max, I probably wouldn't have paid for it at all. I wouldn't have rented it.
You would have waited for it.
I would have waited for like HBO or for it to be on cable.
So arguably, the HBO Max theory gave it larger exposure because you never would have watched it.
Exactly. Totally. Totally.
Vindication, HBO. Vindication.
Totally.
Okay.
Write that down.
Tell the investors they were right.
Straight. This is our generation straight to video.
Straight up.
Yeah, dude, that's what they're going to make fun of. Like, dude, that movie sucks. It went straight to streaming, bro.
Yeah, well,
exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's already been a
fucking
thing.
Sharknado.
STS.
That's definitely, it has already been a thing. Like, not for HBO Max, but like for whatever, wherever you buy movies on Google Play or Amazon, fucking Vudu.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I see movies on there that didn't come out.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's week by week, there is new movies starring sometimes pretty fucking big celebrities, big actors. No. Okay. Talking about Nick Cage here. Talking about Guy Pearce. talking about Lawrence Fishburne. I'm talking about, I don't know, some people out there, some really great actors that just put out a movie. They're like, what is this? And week by week. So that's always been a thing. And then you pay like, I don't know, $7 to watch it. I mean, I could see like getting drunk or something, being like, "Do you want to watch the new fucking Nicolas Cage movie where he's hunting a jaguar?" Because I do.
How was it, Electro?
Well, I didn't watch it.
Stop it.
I didn't.
There's anybody who would have, it would have been you.
No, Nick Cage has a new movie out like every fucking 2 months. I can't keep up.
We never saw the freaking
The
animatronic one.
Yeah, the Willy's Wonderland.
That's
I was super
Did
excited.
that come out?
Yeah. I was super excited to see it, and then I read the reviews, and I was like, "Ah, man,
That wasn't even cheesy good.
no, apparently not.
Ah.
Apparently
That
not.
I looked like it was.
It looked like it was gonna be a fun movie.
I,
bro.
I remember seeing the trailer for the movie, and then I don't know. Did it come in the theater or was it straight
No,
It
maybe
was
it had-
another stream, like a scary movie streaming.
It was on Shudder.
Shudder. That's
Yeah, but you could also buy it.
Fuck is Shudder?
Shudder is a horror movie streaming service. And
Another fucking.
It's not like, oh, is there a fucking echo in this fucking place right here?
did you say that?
Yeah. Well, I didn't say horror.
No,
movie.
you
I
just said
scary
Shudder.
movie. I said scary movie streaming service.
Oh,
I didn't hear that. I chose to ignore
People
that.
don't listen.
We're gonna edit you saying
People
that out. Go ahead and mark that.
write that down.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man, we kind of talked about Justice League, but we'll skip.
So, what's
that
the
for
best movie that has come out on HBO Max since they started doing that? If you had to tell somebody you have to watch this movie,
Well, to be honest, the probably the best one I didn't watch.
how dare you?
Because the Judas and the Black Messiah was released on there, and I never watched it
How do you know that's the best one then?
because they won Oscars.
The Academy told me so.
Hey,
Terrible movies never won an Oscar.
that's yeah. We're just talking about Rami Malek. So.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I gotta say the one I've enjoyed the most out of all of these has been Justice League. I also like Godzilla versus Kong. It's a fucking stupid movie, but it's fun. When fucking the first scene when fucking King Kong walks up to Godzilla and decks him in the face, I was like, fuck yeah. That was awesome.
That's cool.
That was the shit, man. That was the moment I was waiting for in the theater. I was just like, that's awesome. They have like 2 big fight scenes between them, and I mean, whatever. That's worth it for me. The fucking plot is ridiculous. All the people that are acting in it are awful, but we're there to watch. We're there to watch.
Michael Rappaport was in it, and all kinds of the people that couldn't act.
Michael Rappaport was not in it. I wish Michael Rappaport was in it.
That freaking Latina girl that was the snitch.
Okay.
She makes it worth it.
Have you seen Baby Driver?
Mhm.
The hot chick from Baby Driver's in this movie. So you got that.
Latinx, sir.
What's her name? I've actually put it down here. Her name is Elsa Gonzalez.
Elsa?
I think so. Yeah. Oh, is that?
Oh,
an
she's
I?
Mexican. What?
It might be an
She's
I.
one of us.
It might be an I. Aiza.
Aisa, yeah. Aisa?
Aiza.
She's one of us.
No, because she's fucking hot as fuck. She is not one of us. She is above us.
She's a chilanga.
Yeah, I really like this movie. Me and Ozzy actually went to go see it in the movie theater. What'd you think about Godzilla versus Kong, Oz?
I thought it was pretty boring. Damn, and this is
It
what
is.
I
It
realized.
is.
Like I don't like monster movies and stuff because like the anime dudes were like the movie sucked, the fight scenes were cool.
Yes.
I was just like, where are they? They seem.
You didn't like the fight scenes?
I don't know. They seem kind of rushed in a sense.
Okay.
I don't know. But they do look cool because it's obviously people doing it now, so it does look more human like. So yeah, but I don't know.
No, yeah. Well, and then this is
Japanese do other cool shit.
another thing. It's like it's the 4th movie in a series. There's been 2 Godzilla movies and a Kong movie. I don't know. Have you watched any of them, James?
No, I'm not really into Godzilla.
Me neither.
Gojira. I was just waiting for a Japanese dude to scream Gojira, and they did that too. So I was pretty happy for that.
That was for you, Ozzy.
That was
for
cool.
you.
I was like, "Fuck yeah, they did it!"
I'm waiting for him to fight and wind up on the Jurassic Island.
Okay.
They got all kinds of
Oh shit, that'd be
fucking dinosaurs going on.
Well, have you watched the Kong movie? You get dinosaur action in that movie.
Well, I saw that one. That was
Kong
that
is
fight-
good.
That was a good movie.
Kong is
It
good.
was about 20 minutes, a little long,
Yeah.
but other than that, that's my only critique. I really liked that movie.
Jack Black.
Yeah, that shit was good.
No, not King Kong. Kong.
Oh, I like the King Kong movie. I think that was good.
Oh, that's good too. But you didn't watch the new Kong movie with Samuel L. Jackson? Your fucking boy.
Talk about a guy who makes a movie every week.
Oh, he's great in it.
Jesus.
Fucking Samuel L. Jackson versus King Kong. Sign
Sam
me
wins every
up, buddy. And John C. Reilly's in it, and he's like hilarious. He fucking steals the movie. I really like that movie, which made me want to watch this movie. I basically hated both Godzilla movies. I've seen the first Godzilla movie more than I want to because my goddaughter like fucking loves it for some reason. I don't know. She's a child. She loves it, and I tell her like, girl, this is bad. This is bad. Like, I hate this movie, man. I really do.
How old is she?
I believe she's 12 now.
She's got no fucking guidance.
No, she does have guidance, but she loves that movie. But then I showed her the Kong movie, and I think she slowly likes that movie more. So there's hope for her. There's hope for her yet. But yeah, King Kong has made 86, almost $87 million in the box office.
And what did it cost?
$200 million.
Damn. Someone's getting fired for that shit.
But I mean, their choices were to sit on it until the end of the fucking year. They've made some money, and they've made HBO Max some money. So.
The question is the new James Bond movie coming out?
I fucking
hope
hope so.
You guys have been talking about that movie for like 2 years.
I know.
Is that coming to HBO Max?
No. It's supposed to come out. It's supposed to come out in movie theaters in November.
Allegedly.
Oh, dude, imagine. And I say there's like a 70% chance that it's gonna suck. And we waited like 2 years for a movie that's just gonna let us the fuck down. So
Bond is in a fucking nursing home and he's on his deathbed. If they go like a total 180 on
He's wearing a mask.
Yeah. Nobody can visit him. All the villains are outside the glass and shit.
Yeah.
Social distance. Social distance.
Yeah. And well, let's just get into the Mortal Kombat thing really quick. So this one I just watched. I was excited for the idea of a new Mortal Kombat movie.
Of course.
As soon as I saw the trailer and everybody got all excited, this trailer broke like a record for like the most people that have seen it or something.
YouTube streams
for free.
What? You don't pay to watch a fucking.
It was a YouTube.
I believe
streams?
so. Yeah, so like it's the most watched Red Band trailer. Below it is Deadpool 2 and something else. I can't remember what, but it beat all the records. So obviously there's an appetite for this fucking movie. Rated R, because the ones that have come out before have, I believe, have been PG-13.
Stupid.
Yeah, the one from the 90s was definitely PG-13.
There's two from the 90s. One's bad, one's gotta. Yeah. And so I saw the trailer and I was just like, no. Like,
you didn't think it looked good?
No. I mean, I watched it like 3 times, and by the 3rd time I was just like, okay, maybe. There's a chance. There is a chance that this might be good, but I was like very cautious of it. I was like, this mainly looks bad. And yes, it is. It is mainly bad. But they did do some things that I really liked. Like, it starts off really cool. It starts off with Sub-Zero basically massacring and killing Scorpion's family and then killing Scorpion. And it's like a cool little scene. And I believe it takes place like in Japan, like in 1916. So it's like old school fucking martial arts, fucking shit. Probably the best acting of the movie. But I was telling Ozzy, I was like, it might just be what I consider good acting because it's in a different language, and I'm like, fuck, these dudes are crushing. But yeah, first time director directed this. That's already a very fucking bad sign. They didn't even give this to a fucking somebody that has a resume, you know. Really no known actors. The most known actor from all of these people that I know is Lau from The Dark Knight is in this. He's Shao Tsung. So he's the only recognizable person. So it starts off good like that, and then like it's like, all right, off to a good start, and then they just abandon that. They just
And do you blame that on the director?
I blame it on whoever wrote the story. The story was written by 2 different people, and then 2 other people wrote the screenplay. So there's 4 people involved in writing this fucking movie. Already, that's another fucking bad sign right there.
So you can tell how good or bad a movie may be by that. If you see
I think
a
so.
first-time director and then multiple writers and revisions, right?
Yes.
You already know it's probably gonna be terrible.
Oh, it's probably had way more writers than that and revisions from people that are not credited, but 4 people are credited for this.
So he went from doing Subway commercials to fucking Mortal Kombat.
How about the dude that wrote it is a brown belt from 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu and
Is
Dirty
he?
Bravo.
No shit.
For him.
He's from Fresno, so the guy's doesn't have all the balls working for him.
And so the movie after that goes into, you meet a protagonist, some guy who's not a character in Mortal Kombat, and he's the main person that you follow through this movie, and he's a terrible actor. So I was just like, why? You had like a good story there. Why did you stop it? And then you obviously go to modern time, and you're following this like washed up MMA fighter. And if you're an MMA fan like I am, the first time you see him fighting, they show him fighting.
It's terrible.
I mean, it's not good, but it really pissed me off because he's on top of this guy, like beating the shit out of him, basically mounted. It's not quite mount. He has like his knee on his chest, but he's on top of him, fucking him up. And then he gives up that position and goes for an arm bar. And I was just like, no one would do that. Like, you would just fucking finish.
Ronda Rousey would.
Maybe. Maybe.
But she is in fact terrible.
Yeah, but it's just like, you wouldn't do that. And then he ends up losing the fight because of that, right? Yeah, exactly. It's just like, yeah, that's so stupid. And I was like, am I supposed to care about this guy? This guy can't fight.
If it was Damian Maya, it might happen.
Okay, all right. But no, like a movie, like the fight scene starts with him kicking the guy in the chest and boxing him up. So it seems like he's a good fighter. Gets him to the ground.
Well, that's a signature move in the video game. They're trying to tie it all together.
Yeah,
unnecessarily.
And I also like maybe to make it more mainstream.
How
like
many uppercuts were there?
couple. Oh, so stupid. So like his daughter is his corner man, his corner girl, and she's like over there like fucking up, and she's like, throw an uppercut, and I was like, oh my god, stop this! This little girl is not fucking telling him what to do.
Hold down and press B. Hold down and press B.
Throw an uppercut, Dad. She's like, shut up. Awful stuff.
Finish him.
Yeah, and then Sub-Zero is really fucking cool in the movie. I'll give the movie that. The character of Kano fucking makes the movie bearable to me. He's like funny, and like that guy's actually the only one probably acting in the fucking movie, giving a good performance. And then, there's some good gore, some good stuff like that. But I really hated the way that they kind of disposed of some iconic characters. Goro's in this movie for 3 minutes. They kill Goro off, and it's just like, that's it? That's what you did with Goro, huh? Like,
what the fuck? Really?
Like, yeah, he kind of dies pretty cool. His guts spill all over the place. But then the guy that kills him is this guy that I don't even like. He can't act well, and then they're giving these, like, and I was just like, dude, you can't do Goro
You're
like
the only
that.
person that watched this movie and was looking for good acting.
I guess. I mean, shit, dude. Give me something.
They should have put Remy Malek as Johnny Cage.
Exactly. And that's another thing. So they made up this character to go through this journey. It's like, why didn't you just make it Johnny Cage? Why do you make something up? Like, Johnny Cage could have been the protagonist. You could have had basically the same story, but you could have had somebody established in there. Maybe obviously you're not going to get an A-lister to be in fucking Mortal Kombat.
Nicholas Johnny Cage.
There we go. Get Nicolas Cage's. Where's Nicolas Cage's son doing? Get him in there,
John Boy.
Come on, man. But yeah, ultimately, I thought it was very fucking disappointing. And there's so many people out there being like, I don't care what the critics say. Fucking, I came for the fights, and the fights are not good. Okay, they're not good. The fights that are good are in the beginning and the end. You can tell that's where they fucking they bookended the movie with Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and those parts are good, but everything in the middle is like...
It's just the way you describe it, it sounds like a Fast and the Furious kind of money type grab. They have a formula they can go to. They know if they have certain fight scenes they can put into a trailer, they know people will come. The way you describe it, it almost sounds like it would have been better if they would have made like a 1 season series and developed the characters.
True.
And, kind of climax.
Oh, that would have been cool.
You know, because
This
the
is-
Sub-Zero Scorpion thing.
That should have been its own movie.
Yeah, it would have been. That would have been awesome as its own movie.
Yes, and that's like straight fucking like, you know, old school martial arts movie.
You don't have to make it cheesy just because it was cheesy.
Yeah,
It was cheesy because it was in a 16 or 32-bit video game.
write a
Yeah.
good
You
fucking
know?
story. What, like, you started to. I saw it.
Yeah, all
I
those-
witnessed it.
All those people that
Which
we
one of you
played it
four
as-
writers was responsible for that shit?
Yeah, all the ones that played it as kids were all grown up, so we can appreciate a better fucking story.
Is it like wrong of me to want like this to be good? like you got like video game movies drop the ball every single time. Like, I don't know why. They're just like, how can we fuck this up, man? I think of these 4 writers are just sitting there being like, how do we piss them off? But yeah, it's just like, me and Ozzy were talking about it yesterday. It's like, this is a perfect movie, perfect story for you to make multiple movies to build a universe. You could do your Scorpion fucking Sub-Zero movie, do a Liu Kang movie, do a Johnny Cage movie, and then on the 5th one, do like, all right, this you got your tournament.
They could have done the
Street
same
Fighter
thing with-
comes in.
They could have done the same thing with Street Fighter.
Exactly.
You know, they just don't take it serious. They
And-
think that 10-year-olds are watching it. They don't
This
remember
movie's
that
rated R.
they gave it to a first-time director. That's all you got to say.
They
Absolutely.
did commercials in Australia.
And
Yeah.
the movie looks like it's a success. And like the guy that played Sub-Zero, who's great, he's signed up for 4 movies. So it's like
Sub-Zero movies?
for 4 Mortal Kombat movies. So they've had the plan to make multiple movies. If you had this plan, make
Do
a
it
good plan. Yes. Like, why? Wasting a waste of characters, and there are characters in here.
Is there
that
an
are
equivalent like with like Marvel? I mean, because the Captain America movie, the first one was kind of terrible,
good? I fucking hated that movie.
and then they kind of redeemed itself. So this could be
Yeah.
the terrible Captain America.
It could, like, yeah. Hopefully,
because they had to develop a story. I don't know. It sounds like they didn't.
no.
They kind of ran away from a story.
Yeah, they went with like, okay, like, let's do what always is done. This one guy who's got a family and, you know, he's down on his luck and, you know, maybe he's trying to prove himself to his daughter. And
That's fine. That's like every story. You could have
that's
done
what, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, that is every story.
That's
It's
what
like,
I'm
why
saying.
did you do that? Like, come up with something else.
It's rated R. You kill the daughter in front of him.
Fuck
man.
yes.
But
Fuck
even,
yes.
even if they would have stuck with that storyline, you could have done it seriously. And,
Yeah, you could have done a good job. But hired a competent fucking actor.
Yeah.
And
Rami Malek.
yeah, put him in there. Put him in there.
Jesus.
Give him a chance to prove himself
God damn it.
for the
Those-
sequel.
Those googly eyes out there, fucking act your ass off, sir.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, and James Wan, like the guy that directed like the first Saw movie and like The Conjuring, The Conjuring, and he's made. I like him as a director. He kind of put this together. He produced it, so his name is kind of like what got this ball rolling. And I mean, I hope that all the good stuff came from him, but like, yeah, ultimately let down. And I hope that like more people out there are vocal about what was good about it and about how they dropped the ball, so that these fucking people can fucking fix it.
Well, reading the plot here, it ends with them leaving to look for Johnny Cage.
Yeah, it ends with a teaser. Yeah, they're gonna go look for Johnny.
Next
Cage.
movie is a Johnny Cage movie.
That's
Yes.
what this is saying.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be
Yeah.
Johnny Cage centric.
And then I hope they can get at least a
George St.
decent
Pierre.
actor. No, George St. Pierre. Let's get some fucker who can barely speak.
Right here,
Got frosted tips. I mean, come
All
on.
right.
right here, it says some wrestler called The Miz wants to do it.
Yeah, let's not do that, please. Let's not do that.
I like the Miz, but not in the fucking movie.
No, yeah, whatever. He's fine in professional wrestling,
You
but
both know this guy. I fucking feel
The Miz.
stupid that I have no idea.
the only reason I know him is because he used to be in like the real,
Real
world
World.
or something.
Oh, really?
yeah.
He was on the Real World and developed that bullshit character. And
Yeah.
pigeonholed
Ah,
that into being on
Yeah, he's
WWE.
a genius.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
He's really, really good at it.
Yeah, I mean, actually, like,
That's
if it was like a
crazy.
movie that was maybe not as serious as this movie tries to be, I could see The Miz being in there. Like, if it was a goofy, like over
Maybe
the
they're
top.
going the goofy route. Maybe they're going full Raising Arizona with this shit.
Yeah, but please don't do that. Or maybe, like, if you do it, go for it. Right? Be super over the top. Be fucking
Mortal Kombat 2, Coen Brothers.
Planet Terror. Yeah, something like that. You know, like, as gory as this movie can be at times, it didn't go for it. The fight scenes are, like, PG-13 bullshit. There's not a lot of blood. But when they do the finishers, the fucking fatalities, then that's where you see the gore. But the fights could have been gritty, dude. Like, someone gets punched in the face, show some fucking cuts, some blood, like, knock some teeth out, do something.
Then that literally goes back to that was one of its whole gimmicks when the game came out, is that it had blood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first one that had
super
crazy blood.
violent.
Yeah.
That's why you wanted it.
Yeah, but they ultimately kind of made a PG-13 movie, and then, like, there's little splices of rated R in there. Like, somebody gets cut in half, like, down the center.
Dope.
And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
This is rated R in that you should rewrite this shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But we have four more chances to get this right.
Hopefully, man. I mean, I hope so. I hope they can pull something together, man. Get 4 other writers. Get some good ones in there, huh?
Well, they would need 16 writers.
Yeah. Anyways. Well, let's wrap this bitch up. We got things to do. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Give us the like, subscribe, tell fellow movie lovers about it. Listen to the other shows on these on the Salad Bites Network. Salinas Underground Podcast, hosted by the Ozman himself. Nakama boys out there for your anime pleasure. And the 831 Comadres. So, anyways.
Real quick, what's the next movie you guys are gonna review?
No say. We were
Commit to it. Damn it, commit.
We actually were thinking about doing like a Rob Zombie fucking episode. So, I mean, that'd be perfect for you right there. You're actually with somebody that likes multiple Rob Zombie movies.
Yes.
I like one.
We'll stay tuned for that.
So hopefully we could do that. I don't know if we'll do that next, but it'll definitely be one of the upcoming episodes, and hopefully James will join us for that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for having me, boys.
All right. Sayonara, Sari.
The Electro and Bono Movie Power